There are games we play for the challenge, games we play for the story, and games we play to lose ourselves in a world. But every now and then, a game comes along that doesn't just blur these lines, it tears them apart, glues them back together, and hands you a heart-shaped key. That game is Sayonara Wild Hearts. Sayonara Wild Hearts begins with a heartbreak, a universal feeling that sets the tone for its journey. But this isn't just a game about sadness, it's about transformation, empowerment, and self-discovery. From the moment you press start, you're whisked into a dreamlike landscape where reality folds into a surreal pop album brought to life. Your role is to restore balance to the universe by literally battling your inner demons. Simple, right? But trust me, this is where it gets wild. At its core, Sayonara Wild Hearts is a rhythm game, but it's not just about pressing buttons in time with the beat. That would be far too simple. The music isn't a backdrop, it's the DNA of the entire experience. Every level is built around a song, and the game's design makes you feel like you're playing through a dynamic music video. From the very first note of the opening track, the game syncs your movements to the beat. When you glide through a neon forest, dodge lasers, or leap across collapsing platforms, the music isn't just accompanying you, it's anticipating you. Every crescendo, every drop, every subtle beat change is perfectly aligned to your actions. But what makes Sayonara Wild Hearts stand out is how fluidly it integrates the music into its gameplay. Unlike traditional rhythm games where you're following a set pattern, Sayonara Wild Hearts feels much more intuitive. It's not about hitting the right notes, it's about immersing yourself in the song's energy and letting it guide you. The beauty of the game's music is how it's tailored to the story. Every track reflects the emotional arc of that level. Every beat missed or moment mistimed feels personal, like you're breaking the flow of a living, breathing entity. But when you're in sync, when you're dodging and striking in perfect time, it's pure exhilaration. And the diversity in the soundtrack keeps things fresh. It spans genres from pop ballads to electronic bangers to dreamy synth waves. No two levels sound or feel the same, yet they all come together to form one cohesive journey. This isn't just a playlist, it's an emotional soundtrack to healing, discovery and catharsis. But the most magical part is that you don't need to be a rhythm game expert to enjoy it. I have never played a rhythm game myself. I played Yakuza 5 and it had a rhythm game section, but that's where my experience with rhythm games ends. The controls are very simple, and the game wants you to succeed. It's not about perfection, it's about connection. Whether you're nailing every beat or just soaking in the music, Sayonara Wild Hearts makes you feel like you're part of the song, part of the story, part of something bigger. And then there's the visuals. It doesn't just look good, it looks unforgettable. From the very first moment, the game surrounds you with vibrant, dreamlike visuals that pulse and shift with the music. It's a world of endless possibilities where every frame feels carefully crafted to evoke emotion, momentum, and awe. At its core, Sayonara Wild Hearts is about contrast. Its neon-drenched landscapes are bold and vibrant, but they're often juxtaposed with moments of stillness and muted tones. This interplay of light and shadow creates a rhythm of its own, complementing the game's music and narrative. Each level introduces a distinct visual identity, as if you're flipping through the pages of a book. One moment you're racing through a city full of cascading pinks and purples, and the next you're in the forest with drab colours, but it still works. And then there's the level design and how they managed to make each environment come to life, almost as though they were characters in their own right. The forest is lush and mysterious, the glowing trees give way to swirling paths, the ethereal expanse of other levels captures the weightlessness of the themes, with floating platforms and pastel gradients. And then there's the highway chases, where the sharp edges and angular lighting evoke the tension of an endless pursuit. Every setting reflects not only the mood of the music, but also the emotional stakes of the narrative. One of the most striking design choices is the use of tarot imagery. Each boss you face is tied to a tarot card, the lovers, the hermit, the chariot, and these aren't just decorative, they're symbols that connect to the protagonist's journey of heartbreak, self-discovery and balance. For example, the Devil Tarot card isn't just a fight, it's a visual and thematic representation of temptation and chaos. The level's design reflects that, with shifting patterns and overwhelming visuals that feel disorienting and purposeful. And the visuals don't just serve the narrative, they heighten the gameplay itself. Bright colours and glowing elements guide your path, making the experience intuitive even when it's chaotic. The constant motion of the environment keeps your eyes engaged, while the game subtly leads you towards collectibles and challenges. It's designed to make you feel like you're part of this surreal, kinetic world. Even in the smallest details, Sayonara Wild Hearts really shines. Hearts explode into radiant sparks when collected. The trails left by your motorcycle are almost hypnotic, twisting and turning in perfect harmony with the music. Every element feels alive, pulsating in time with the beat, reinforcing the sense that this world is built entirely of rhythm and emotion. But what really sets Sayonara Wild Hearts apart is its ability to surprise. Just when you think you've seen everything, the game throws in something new, a shift in perspective, a transformation, something like that. The game isn't afraid to surprise you. The gameplay constantly evolves, refusing to settle into one rhythm or genre. It's part rhythm game, part arcade shooter, part platformer, and somehow it all works perfectly. The game is short, yes, clocking in at around an hour if you just rushed through, but I went for the platinum and I added quite a few hours onto that. This isn't a game that wants you to grind, it's a game that wants you to feel, to immerse yourself in its world for a single, unforgettable sitting. Underneath all of the spectacle, Sayonara Wild Hearts is deeply personal. It's a story about heartbreak, but also about picking up the pieces and moving forward. The tarot cards, the bosses, the music, they're all metaphors for a journey of self-discovery. And by the time you reach the final level, when the game asks you to forgive yourself, it's hard not to feel like you've just experienced something profoundly unique. In the vast and ever-evolving world of video games, it's very easy to feel like you've seen it all. You've seen games that are beautiful, games that are thrilling, games that move you. But then there's Sayonara Wild Hearts, a game that doesn't just blend these elements, it transcends them. It's hard to define because it isn't like anything else that you have played before. Sayonara Wild Hearts defies traditional genre boundaries. At first glance, it seems like a rhythm game, but it's not about hitting perfect notes and following strict patterns. It's also a racer, but one where the goal isn't speed, it's about flow and emotion. Then it's a shooter, a platformer, a cinematic experience, and somehow even an album that you play through. This seamless blending of genres keeps you guessing and constantly engaged. Every level introduces something new, a fresh mechanic, a different style of challenge, or a surprising twist that shifts the way you think about the game. I cannot believe the amount of times a level would begin, or we would be partway through a level, and the game would just throw something completely new at me. I was in awe while playing this game. And these are more than just gameplay changes, they're storytelling tools. They reflect the ever-shifting nature of the protagonist's emotional journey. The game also does something rare. It really captures the feeling of transformation. It takes the messy, chaotic process of heartbreak and healing and turns it into gameplay. Each level, each moment of motion and rhythm is a metaphor for growth. Sometimes you'll stumble or lose the beat, but the game doesn't punish you harshly, it urges you forward, gently reminding you that it's okay to falter on the path to self-discovery. Even the structure of the game is unique. The tarot card framework gives every level a deeper symbolic meaning, tying gameplay to the themes of loss, love and rebirth. By the time you face the final level, you feel the weight of everything you've overcome, both in the game and in the metaphor it represents. And then there's the pacing. At just over an hour long, Sayonara Wild Hearts knows exactly when to end. It doesn't overstay its welcome or pad its runtime, instead it delivers a tightly crafted experience that feels more like a perfectly curated album or an unforgettable short film. It's not about how many hours you play, it's about how deeply it resonates. But the thing that truly sets it apart is the way that it makes you feel. It's not just a game you play, it's a game you experience. It taps into something universal, blending music, visuals and gameplay into a kaleidoscope of emotion. It's about heartbreak and healing, but also joy and liberation. It's about finding yourself in the chaos and learning to move forward, one beat at a time. Few games manage to leave such a lasting impression in such a short time. Sayonara Wild Hearts is one of those rare gems that challenges what a game can be, what it can say, and how it can make us feel. It doesn't just entertain, it leaves a mark, a vivid, glittering reminder of the power of art in motion. You've never played a game like Sayonara Wild Hearts, and honestly, you might never again. But that is okay. Some experiences are meant to be singular, to leave a mark on your heart that you carry with you, long after the final note fades. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. I hope that you did enjoy it. I had a lot of fun making it, and I had a lot of fun playing Sayonara Wild Hearts. This game is fantastic. If you haven't played it, please make sure to play it, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like because it really does help. And if you want to see more videos from me, then make sure to subscribe because I upload at least once a week. But for now, that is all. Have a nice day, and goodbye.